Hi, my name is Mercedes. I go by Sadie. Kamek is my last name. This is my personal introduction for AEP 800. Background, my education is I went to Kansas State University. I was on the rodeo team, so I went to K-State. They gave me a pretty good scholarship. Then they offered me a better scholarship at Fort Hays, so I moved to Fort Hays. I moved there also to be with my husband now. I taught in Kinsley, Kansas when I graduated. I taught 5th and 6th grade. And then I moved back to Augusta, which is where I currently live and teach, to teach 5th grade. General demographics, I live in Douglas, which is right next to Augusta. I live at home now with my husband, Travis. We've been married for 6 years. I have 2 kids, my 10-month-old baby, John Wayne, and Clara. She's my 5-year-old. It's like we were living in a Western. I have 7 horses, 3 dogs, a cat, many barn cats, some chickens, and some guineas. So it's like we're living on a ranch on a whole 10 acres. So it's not really a ranch, but we have a lot going on. For extracurricular activities, my husband and I both rodeo. I run barrels and he steer wrestles. Besides that, I also sell antiques and hang out with my 2 kids during the summer, which if you hear them, they're outside right now playing in the water. So you might hear them screaming in a little bit. My job, I currently teach 5th grade in Augusta. I teach at Lincoln Elementary, which is one of the 5 elementary schools in our town. I've been teaching here for 3 years, and I love my job. Here's a little picture of my classroom right now. It's complete disarray. When I was in there yesterday, they were cleaning my room, so complete mess. It doesn't normally look like that, but I mean, it sometimes looks a little completely destroyed, but not as bad as it is there. I'm getting this degree because I want to increase my knowledge in the educational field, along with allowing me to become a more effective teacher in the classroom until I'm able to utilize my degree that I'm seeking. I am going for administration, so that's the next step in my career, and I would like to complete this program successfully so that I can become an administrator someday. What I will learn, what I'm going to use, what I learn, it will not only prepare me for the future, but I'll also be able to use the coursework and new information throughout my 5th grade classroom next year and in the years to follow until my degree is completed. And the new ideas and techniques that will assist me in the rapidly changing classroom. I feel like things are constantly changing, so any new information I gather is great for my classroom. As previously mentioned, I'm currently teaching 5th grade. I received a degree in elementary education and speech-language pathology from Fort Hays State University. I actually had Dr. Moody my first year at Hays. I'm teaching 5th grade. I enjoy teaching 5th grade, although I feel that I need to advance my studies in education for future advancement within our district. Now onto my technology strengths. I use technology in my classroom daily. I have a Promethean board. We have Chromebook computers. We have iPads. And we use Google Docs and Google Slides. All of the kids have Google access, and so it's very convenient for all of our projects and activities. With the Promethean board, I use them in my classroom, and every teacher has a Promethean in their room. They do cover our whiteboards, which sometimes becomes a problem. However, it is nice to have the Promethean board on a daily basis. I put my daily announcements, missing grades, missing assignments, their assignments for the day, all of the things that they could possibly need to know are on the Promethean boards. I use for videos and student-led learning. They can come up to the board as often as they would like to do activities on the board. The kids do a lot of the student-led activities coming up and presenting to the class. Chromebook computers, we don't have a whole set for the entire room, but we have about 10. Our PTO bought them for us. They are a lifesaver. We use them for spelling tests, so I don't have to grade any spelling tests. Since I teach 5th grade, we do have to give spelling tests. They do a lot of group work, a lot of collaboration, where they don't need necessarily their own computer, but they can all work together on one. They do a lot of research for projects. We do a lot of research activities through 5th grade, so it's nice to have the research at their fingertips, get a computer, find what they need to find, and share it with their groups or with myself. And we do a lot of project-based learning activities, and the Chromebooks come in handy for those activities. iPads, we have them in our classroom. They're not our own. We have to sign up for them in the school and use them. We only have 15 for the entire building. But my kids do enjoy using the iPads to create videos and share them with the class. It's nice to use the technology to keep the kids engaged while working on projects. Later I will talk about my disadvantages of the iPads and of technology. The iPads do cause issues with the kids getting off track. videoing things that maybe aren't necessarily appropriate, especially for fifth graders, and that does become a problem, but I think that's pretty common throughout. After watching everyone's videos, that seems to be kind of the main issue of concern. Google Docs and Slides. All of our typed assignments are in the Google Classroom and Google Docs. They're able to share them with me. I'm able to grade them immediately, give them feedback right then. They can see their assignment. They know exactly what they're supposed to do. All their directions are in those Google Docs and the Google Classroom so that they can know what they're supposed to do and how they're going to do it. This is a different avenue to make the classroom run smoother and much easier for me and the students. And it also allows them to go home and show folders to their parents to show them what they need to do, and their parents aren't completely in the dark. They know exactly what has to be done. I put a lot of the instructions, examples, all sorts of things in there so that they can see them at home as well. A weakness, I obviously have weaknesses. I previously mentioned keeping the kids on task instead of sending chats back and forth and typing things that aren't appropriate. When they are on Google Slides or Google, they are able to chat with each other, which does become a problem. They do share them with me, but it's hard for me to see all 20 of my kids at once to make sure that they're not doing something inappropriate. I do threaten them, obviously, and tell them that I can see it, but they know that when I'm logged on that I can't be seeing everybody's, so they try to do some things. They do get in trouble for it, obviously, but I cannot always monitor what they're doing. In our building, our Wi-Fi is not always spot on. Sometimes it's hit and miss, so it's kind of hard to make sure the technology is always cooperating. Sometimes things that I want them to look or view are blocked by our shelter belt, which becomes a problem. Not knowing all the newest things has been a problem for me over the years. I am pretty good about talking to some of the teachers in the building and finding things out, but sometimes I'm not always on top of the newer things that are happening. I've been very comfortable over the years using the apps for the classroom. I'm still learning and hope to become even more comfortable and use more of it in my classroom. The Google Classroom was new to me this year, so that was one thing that I started using. I was using Windows before last year, so everything kind of switched to Google's this year for our building, and it's all become very comfortable, and I truly like the Google apps. I feel that our test scores are much higher. The kids don't seem to dread taking the tests as much. They complete their projects with enthusiasm because they're excited, especially as fifth graders, to get onto the computers and type things and find research that way instead of looking in a book. The research is available at their fingertips instead of having to go get an encyclopedia or a book, and they don't like to do that, especially fifth graders. The collaboration is made more possible. They can talk to each other, sometimes not always appropriately, but they can talk to each other and to me, get immediate feedback, and I like that about that. And communication and reflection is immediate. They can see what I say about their paper or their research or their activity, and they can change it quickly. I propose that I will continue doing research, participate in webinars, continued education classes, which they offer that a lot in our building, which is very nice, and communication with the technology staff in my building. Our computer teacher is great, and she's always coming up with new, exciting things to teach us, and that's always very helpful when it comes to technology. I'm going to take what I learn and apply it in my classroom. I do that now, but I need to probably share a little bit more with the staff. So some of the newer things I find I need to start sharing a little bit more with the staff. Most of our staff is young, so they're all a little bit more advanced when it comes to technology. So I don't have to share as much, probably. They already know it, but it'd be nice to hear back from them as well. And then I need to assist the students in becoming familiar with the new ideas in technology. I usually introduce it to them, see if they like it before I keep pushing it on them, and then we continue from there. There isn't much money to go around, we all know, but we have a very supportive district, and they do their best to help support extra learning activities. We don't have any money to buy new technology, but our PTO usually goes out and buys us new technology, which is super amazing. The school, though, does pay for us to go to classes, and if the funding is available at the time, and they're very supportive on helping us get more education on things that we feel that we lack. So that's my video, and I hope you enjoyed it.